Hi, if you are seeing all this secure flow thing for the very first time in life, there is a huge chance that you have not seen the part 1 video. I will put the link up. But let me tell you, like a few weeks ago, I put up kind of like a LinkedIn post about one of the security framework I am personally working on. That system is basically designed to make the single player games tamper proof on the runtime. So using that system, the players cannot make any changes on few of the things, kind of like uh, the unlimited health, the unlimited ammo, those kind of things. You cannot change them anymore. Cheat engine won't to work, basically. So for this prototype, I have already done the secured float, secured integer, and secured bool. Those three things are already done. But something else happened, basically. On that LinkedIn post, maybe very for the very first time of my life, I saw my LinkedIn post went for like 25K plus impressions. So many comments, so many reacts. I have never seen that kind of stuff. And yeah, those comments were not good for me. Someone called me stupid and basically more than stupid to design something like that because I am actually harming the players, hurting the players. Someone told me to stop it right away because this is basically useless for developers. Even though I have tried to convince him on that thing that I am basically designing and prototyping it, making it for the developers so that they can control the whole game's design and the learning curve of the games. It will stop using of cheat engine, and there is UI mod which is called a wand right now. It will stop those things. I got bashed on LinkedIn. Someone called me, someone framed me as like, uh, this is a crime. Someone said this is completely waste of memory and processing power. I wanted to end this project. I wanted to do that. But then something happened. Two people came up on the LinkedIn post and basically tried to defend me that they know how to use these kind of things. They want something like this. This system will basically help the game designers and the game developers to make sure the game stay secured even on the single player system, and it can be used in many different ways to make sure the learning curve of the game, the fun of the game is not corrupted, is not tampered with. And here I am today with a new version of ShieldUE, and I am calling it Mayan, the Mayan version. I'm naming it after my son, a newly born son. So let's see what is the update. So I'm just going to explain like the secure float, and I'm going to show you kind of like a setup for this one. So what I have done is like there are a few updates on the nodes also. You can see over here. These ones are basically new, completely new, the updated nodes. So here it is. There is basically two ways to initialize a secure float. One is basically you need to put up rules on a variable. Another one is the float variable will have its own rules. This one is temper count, how many times a value has been tempered with. This is the temper region, the last temper region. And this is if the float has detected, basically the float value has temper detected or not. And I'm giving up, I'm not giving up, I'm giving more for the developers. There is a force recover, kind of like if you want to make something like if the temper count has been like done 2 times, 3 times, you can just force recover the whole thing. And also, after you give them a punishment, you can just clear the temper state. Now, let's go and let's see what we can make. Let's get our begin play. Think about it as like we are going to make a health variable. So I'm calling it as health and secure float. This one, secure float. Okay. As I have said, there are two initialize rules. One is you need to have like a variable called rules for basically the secure float, and that is this one is basically from internal rules. So I'm going to use this one. Initialize float, secure float initialize from internal rules. The initial value is 100. So how to set up the rules for a variable? The easiest way is clicking it health rules over here. Set range, and yeah, the default value is 100. Recovery mode, restore last valid. Okay. Another thing, you can auto rekey, like the whole thing will encrypt it after how many seconds. If anyone wants to use that, then they can. If not, then it's completely fine. It will still be encrypted in the memory, and cheat engine will never ever able to find this value. Okay, the most important update of this version is this one: recover on temper. This is the developer's choice. If they want to recover the value whenever a temper is detected, basically. Whenever a temper is detected, the developer can recover the last valid value instantly. So this is basically the first version. This one is basically the first version, and the second version is like if the developer want, they won't basically recover the value right away. They will wait. They will wait like most probably for 1 2 times, and then they can just get the player a punishment, give the player a punishment. That's it. That is completely the developer's choice, that game designer's choice. That is not on me anymore. So let's do it. So here it is. Right now it is not like ticked, it is not true. So think about that. If this health needs to get damaged, so what we will do? Let's make a custom event damage. Get health. Okay. Now for secured float, you cannot just use this value basically. What you need to do is like get, here it is, secure float get, and then we are going to subtract a amount like 10, and then again secure float set. Okay, so on the very first version, whenever you call it the secure float get or set, if there was any temper, it would have been basically recovered the value right away. But right now, it's on the developer's hand if they want to do this or not. That is on their hand. Okay. Now, let's think about that. Whenever the player is getting damaged or getting healed, we are not just going to give this like secure float health, a float set directly. Let's make a custom event set uh, temper detection. Let's call it temper detection. So what we are going to do here, we are going to get this one is if the temper is detected or not. So S health temper detected. So what we are going to do right now is like temper detection, and if a temper is detected or not. Now there are two ways to basically use that thing. Maybe if there is already a temper detected, if you want to like punish the player or something, that is completely on your end, not me. But yeah, you could have used event tick to like detect if the value is tempered or not using the event tick, or you can do another thing, that is mm, add custom event. Let's do something. Let's think about it. How many times tempered? Now what we are going to do is secure float get temper count. And just for example, if it is greater than 2, we are going to give the player some punishment. So punishment. This is basically the developers or the game designers logic, and we're going to call it punishment. And after the punishment, what we are going to do, we are going to basically clear the temper state and secure float force recover. We are going to use both of those things. So if there is a punishment, let's say force recover, secure float force recover, it will basically recover the last known value. If I'm not sure if everyone wants to use this or not, we can leave it, we can keep it. Let's do it like this. If you want to recover the last valid value. Okay. And then as there is like a punishment has already been given, we can just temper state secure float clear temper slide. Okay. There is one thing. This is basically my design, so I want to use it in that way. But if and only if someone wants to use it like if it is equal to 2, then maybe there is a one punishment, and if it is not, then and if it is equal to 5, maybe then there is another severe punishment. So if someone wants to use in that way, then don't need to use that in this way. I was just giving up an example, that's it, nothing else. So in this way, the developer will always have the power to design their own punishment system, detection system, and everything basically. Okay, now where is basically the new update? The new update is over here. If you make it ticked the recover on temper, you don't actually need to like use this kind of thing, secure float force recover. No, you don't need to use this kind of things. You can just this one, the force recover, this thing will automatically be done whenever a temper is basically detected. Okay, but one thing, this one will always go up, always, this one will always go up until you clear this one. If you use this one, then basically the everything, the count, the reason, everything will be basically gone. All those three will be zero basically. There will be no data. So it's kind of like a newborn baby. It does not have any sin. So here it is. This is basically the new update on ShieldUE. I will give the new updated plugin, the beta plugin on the GitHub, and I will put the link in the video. So thank you everyone, and I hope so. I will never stop to make this dream come true. My very own security framework for single player game. Thank you.